Hi everyone, and welcome to Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and James E. Cornett here. And today on Collision or Hit, we know Drew McIntyre's in the house, and we know he's not in a good mood at all, Tony Schiavone says. No, he's not, Jim Ross says. After he didn't win Gald in the Boundary, the TWF one, after he won the WWE one, but then failed, but then lost to Yield It In. He's looking for any forgiveness, Jim Ross says, to bitch and rant. Well, I can tell you one thing, Tony and Jim. I have never seen a man like Drew McIntyre, completely, fully guilt and shame everyone else around him for the matches he didn't win, for the straps he didn't win. Bitching and ranting about the unfairness of things. I'll tell you one thing. Drew McIntyre needs to get his play together and fast. You know what pissing me, says James E. Cornett. You know what pissing me off, Drew McIntyre says. Shit. You know what's pissing me off, Drew McIntyre says. How I could have won the TWF Gald in the Boundary. But no, it has to go to some bitch by the name of Peach, who we all know she's the TWF Allegheny Share Fighter. So why does she need to be the one to win it? I want you out here now, Peach, because I bloody want you, Peach, to give me what's mine. Drew McIntyre, I was going to tell you right now that I truly feel sorry for you that you fully, have lost it. Every time you lose a match, now it's guilt and shame everyone else. Every time you never won any strap, it's guilt and shame everyone else. They're all against you. They fucked with you. This and that. In the past, you guilted it all. First, you guilted it all on Jason Uso. Then, you guilted on Cody Rhodes for putting in a good word to get Jason Uso on Raw. Then you started your shit with Kevin Owens. And then on top of that, you started your shit with CM Punk. Now, I know at the end of the day, you think that I'm just going to hand this over to you. And yes, you are out of your mind if I'm just going to hand this over to you. You win some, you lose some, Drew. It happens. You got to get on the mindset to not let all these losses get to you. How are you going to handle it? You talk about how you were one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE and in the TWF. You talk about how you could handle anything going wrong. But all of a sudden, that standard you set for yourself apparently was way too high. You know what, Peach? If you don't give me the Gald in the Boundary right now, I oath to God that you're gonna do what? You're gonna do what? Peach, here's the deal. You're not gonna do nothing because me and you are gonna do it. You wanna know something? Godzilla said, yeah. I might not be the matchmaker anymore like I was in the past, from now between 99 while the 2012 YL. But I can tell you right now, I don't think Peach is going to be giving you anything. No, Godzilla. No, Godzilla. Look, I can deal with this. Is that right, huh? Here, deal with this. Oh! and Godzilla or Godzilla just knocked down Drew McIntyre with his tail. And now it looks like we're going to have a match here. And it looks like Peach is going to get the upper hand. You know, it's going to take the upper hand, and she's going to beat Drew McIntyre here today on Collision or Hit, Tony Schiavone says. That would just give him something new to rant and bitch about, Jim Ross said. I would think so, James E. Cornette says. At the end of the day, that seems to be the only thing he tends to be good at these days. Is the bitching, is the ranting. You wish you wouldn't be saying that, but it is true. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and Miss Galled in the Boundary, Peach. Well, Peach has beat Drew McIntyre, and you know Drew McIntyre isn't going to be happy with that loss. You know that he's going to bitch and rant about that, and then he's going to tell folks he's going to yield, but it'll most likely be a lie. He's not going to yield. And he'll just come back and beat the shit out of you later on, if he can. Tony Schiavone says, I can't believe that Drew McIntyre truly believed that Peach would just give up her Galled in the Boundary winning over the him. Like, he truly thinks that Peach would do something like that. He truly believes that Peach would do something like that. That's crazy for him to think that, Tony Schiavone says. The craziest thing is, Jim Ross says, is Drew McIntyre has truly lost it. He can't handle losing anymore. He can't handle not being the top man. And I'm not saying that he was the top man during 2020 while the 2021 while in WWE. He was one of the very few things that WWE could look at and say, look, we did something that a lot of folks didn't think we would do, Jim Ross says. Yeah. And James E. Cornette said that was when COVID was going on. Well, it's still going on, but that was when it was truly bad. And then once everything started going back to the way it once was, I don't know, it just didn't work out. James E. Cornette says, so sorry to hear that a man that did great things is now not that same man he once was, James E. Cornette says. Drew McIntyre, him guilting and shaming folks over his loss. Alright, take it away, Tony Schiavone said. Joey Styles. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking here with Drew McIntyre here today on Collision or Hit. And you don't seem to be doing very well. Well, how would you like it, Tony Schiavone? How would you like it, Joey Styles? How you started out in the NAWA, ECW, and then WWE, and then CPW, and then get fucked with. Well, I don't really know if I don't know if I could say it that way. I'm not. I should be the Galled in the Boundary winner. I should be the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter. But everyone is against me. You see, I got this shit list, and they say it was Jason Uso, it was Cody Rhodes, it was Kevin Owens, it was CM Punk. Well, I guess we gotta put Peach and Godzilla on that list. Drew McIntyre, the only way that you're ever going to overcome this mindset and stand is if you win a match, right? If you become the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter. And not only that, Joey Styles, if I also win the WWE heavyweight winnings, then I'll overcome that mindset and stand. Well, you were the world heavyweight fighter after beating Seth Rollins, but then lost it to Damian Priest. Yeah, tell me about how I got fucked over in WWE, how I'm getting fucked over in the TWF, Joey Styles. At least you didn't have to worry about that. Well, I'm not saying my time as a play-by-play caller in the wrestling business was, flawless. It's not. But you need to stop guilting and shaming everyone for things that didn't go right. About the matches you should have won, the straps you should have won. It happens. It would be like me bitching about my time in WWE 2005 YL to 2008 between FYL, and then wondering why it didn't go the way it should have gone. Yeah, but then again, at least you got to. At least no one fucked you over, and at least no one gave, But no, hold it, they did. They told you, oh, you're taking over for Jim Ross. And then Jim Ross came back. No, I was only filling in for Jonathan Coachman, who was filling in for Jim Ross. And then Todd Grisham filled for me for the one night, and then Jim Ross took over. I was only filling in for Jim Ross, alright? I didn't fully have Jim Ross's spot on Raw. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to get my hands on Gajora. I'm going to get my hands on Peach. Well, that's my talk with Drew McIntyre. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Joey Styles, for talking with Drew McIntyre here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here. I, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross, and James E. Cornette. We hope you like Collision or Hit. And we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, or Alone Night Raw.